Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Fran and today we'll be talking about faith. Now, if you are a skeptical, logical, critical, analytical thinker, you might want to switch off this video right now, but I challenge you to stay tuned and listen to my argument. After all, I, like you, consider myself a logical thinker. So trust and faith have been two of my biggest stumbling blocks on the road to manifesting my wishes and desires. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about my childhood conditioning and my relationship to faith. I grew up in the Catholic tradition, but no one in my family really believed in anything. My mom was neither a believer nor a non-believer. My father was a believer, according to him, who did everything that was not in line with the scriptures, or so I thought. But he never practiced anything, never prayed, never went to church, and never even opened the Bible in his entire life. They just used to force us, me and my brother, to go to Mass on Sunday to get rid of us for a few hours and get some peace and quiet. My experience with the man of the cloth wasn't the most positive either. Confession was a scary place where you were mostly asked about your sexual conduct. I was 9 or 10. But I soon realized that the priest was not really interested in my salvation, if you know what I mean. And then there was my nun, who I would have defined as an atheist if she herself had not defined herself a Catholic. She never had an ounce of faith in her life. She believed only in physical evidence, and she taught me that the only way to stay safe in life is to doubt everyone, to keep people at a safe distance, as they always try to manipulate you or get something from you. She had no trust in men in general. She had no trust especially in religious men, with whom she had herself some negative experiences. She didn't trust anyone with money. She didn't trust anyone who was showing her affection, as it couldn't have been genuine. So I grew up with this knowledge that to trust is to be gullible, that to believe before you see evidence for it is to be naive, that to have faith is to be stupid. I thought that religious was a means to anesthetize the masses. If you can get anyone to believe, to have blind faith in something that they cannot see, then you can control them and make them do anything you like. And to be honest, that is probably how faith is used by the church, and not just the Catholic one. Therefore, trust and faith to me, until recently, were dirty words. After all, I wanted to be clever, so I wanted to be in control, to have control over my life. But then I took a look at my life and at the lives of those who professed to be smart. And there was no hint of joy in those lives. They and I were living in survival mode, constantly fighting and fleeing from anything remotely risky. My father, who claimed to have faith, although to my eyes he had none, actually led a successful life in many ways. Anything he touched turned to gold. He never worried about losing money or giving it away, as he knew that more will come his way, and it always did. He trusted people even when he shouldn't have, because he knew that he would always find a way to make more money or friends. He actually used to say, it doesn't matter how much money you lose, as long as you make more of what you lost. He was always focused on abundance, wealth, and solutions. On the other end, my nun was constantly worried about the lack of money and focused on scarcity. And she consistently attracted more luck. The same happened in her relationships. The more she was guarding against betrayal, the more she attracted cheating and unfaithful men. Slowly, I started seeing the patterns. Was it really clever to distrust people and circumstances? Did that really protect people from unpleasant events at all? The opposite seemed to be happening. There was a direct correlation between what you focused on regularly and what consistently manifested in your life. I realized that the lack of belief and trust was simply another form of blind faith in our faulty conditioning, blind faith in an illusory sense of control, blind faith in our ability to predict and prevent future events based on our past experiences. So, an important shift happened inside of me. If my ability to predict the future is but an illusion, based on my ingrained beliefs and past experiences, if my ability to control life is an illusion, as things do happen all the time which are outside of our control and which we could never have predicted, then wouldn't it be smarter to let go of the need to control uncontrollable events and just trust? When I look at people who had a vision, and trusted blindly in it without focusing on the challenges, problems, obstacles, and hurdles, but just stayed focused on the end results. I see people who achieved miracles: Einstein, Edison, the Wright brothers, to cite but a few. People who didn't let doubts, fears, and worry get in the way of the vision. Now, you might think that they were geniuses. Of course, in hindsight, this is how most people see them. But at the time, before they proved everyone wrong with physical evidence, they were just considered fools, weirdos, and outcasts. So I can see why many, including myself, might have a strong resistance against faith and trust. We have been taught to watch out for danger, to believe no one, including our inner voice, and to trust no one in order to stay safe. We have been taught to survive, and no one has taught us how to thrive and create a fulfilling life. No one has taught us how to stay in flow, how to follow our inner guidance down the path of least resistance. They have taught us that life is hard, that you have to struggle to earn the right to go to heaven, without realizing that heaven is right here, not in some other realm. If you could only give up the illusion of control and get in touch with the creative genius inside of you, you'd be in constant flow, and life would become a lucid dream rather than the nightmare that it is. So I understand all too well that it may feel challenging or scary to let go of our cynicism, to feel stupid, naive, and gullible. But we don't even need to tell anyone at first. We just have to remove the resistance and internal blocks. We just need to step out of our own way long enough to materialize the first results in our physical reality. We just have to silence our internal judge for a little while until we can prove him or her wrong with our visible, tangible results. So you don't have to trust in any external god or guru. You just have to silence your inner critic until the creative genius inside of you starts showing you the path that you need to follow. I first experienced this when I started doing yoga meditation many years ago by mistake. Serendipitous events started happening that I could never have fathomed, which led me down the path of psychology, CBT, counseling, hypnotherapy, all the way back to meditation and the law of attraction. I realized that all my studies and qualifications led me back to the starting point: meditation. In other words, letting go of our worries and doubts, of our illusion of control, of our fears, letting go of the how and just focusing on the end result as if it were here in the present. Once you define your goal, the path will show itself, unless you block it with doubts, fears, worries, and ingrained dysfunctional beliefs. So maybe we should revise the term blind faith and call it visionary faith. After all, you can't be a visionary unless you have total faith in what is not yet manifested. A visionary is someone who believes before he sees. So this is it for today. Be brave, be stupid, be a visionary. If you've come this far and found this content interesting and useful, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell option so that more people can become aware of this content and so that you can be notified of my future videos. In any way, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful awakened day.